Sorry, we're a little tardy today. Coach Phillips, we have a walking group, and he got it out of us today. Thank you all for coming. Coach Cardi, I'm just reading my bullet points. Comes from a coaching family. Dad coached. I got an utmost respect for him. I read up on him a little bit. Quarterback at Delaware as well. So most quarterbacks tend to make pretty good coaches. I think football players actually done it, tend to make pretty good coaches as well. Students of the week, Coaching Allen. Love me some Coaching Allen. Highlands Ranch, Colorado, Draylon Miller. From Texas, Students of the week, special teams. Grease is one of the 13 P4 punters, pinning the opponents inside the 20 3 times, which was wonderful. We should have had 4. Buck had 5 touchbacks on 5 kickoffs, and Mata was Mata. The rest of us just didn't do a darn thing, but the kicking team was phenomenal. Oh, God. Let's get going.
Hi, Coach. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Nikki Edwards, Yahoo Sports. After reviewing the film, what have your conversations been like with Coach Shermer in improving some elements of the offense?
It's funny that you start out with Coach Sherman. We gave up over 300 yards, darn near 400 yards rushing. It's ironic to me. It seemed like you guys just pick and choose who you want to target. That's cool. We didn't lose the game because of Coach Shermer, Coach Livingston, or one specific thing. I got to do a better job. I'm preparing my team, challenging my coaches to go to the next level. That's on me.
Hey, Coach Leo Rivera with Scopo Sports.
How you doing?
Talking to that defensive unit, what was your message to that linebacker room specifically? Because I know you had challenged them last week Friday at the press
conference. You got to do better. That was not acceptable. You got to know your keys, and you got to be physical, play with a certain type of controlled violence that football would allow. We just got to do better overall. They have the ability to do better. We have, I think, probably 5 to 6 guys in that room that can really contribute right now and get some value out of, but they just got to play better. You should see much more of a rotation this week.
Hi, Coach. I hope you're well.
How you doing, sir?
After the game, I think you mentioned Omarion Miller might have suffered a bit of a hamstring injury. How's he doing?
Hamstring. He's still out, not practicing. Hadn't done anything since the game. But you got to understand, he's a phenomenal receiver. But we have some phenomenal receivers on this roster. We just got to give them opportunities to expose themselves because they're really good.
I was also hoping to get an update on Dallin Hayden. How's his recovery?
He practiced a little today. Still got a little ways to go, but he's going to be okay. We're not hurting in those either of those rooms. Not that we don't need those guys. We definitely need those guys, but we have pretty good depth in those rooms.
Coach Pat Graham, Associated Press.
How you doing?
Nice to see you. Two-parter. Number one is the run game. What do you think of the run game?
Was that the highest total of in a while?
Rushing?
Yeah.
It's third highest since you've been here.
Yeah. I'm not totally happy, but I know we could run the ball at will. I know we have a physical offensive line. They want to run the football. We will run the football. Oftentimes games, what they're showing in the box predicates that as well. We got to be smart. We just can't go out there and run just for the sake of running. We got to be smart as well.
And the second part of that is, when you had Shador, it was a totally different offense than what you're trying to make now.
Yeah.
How long does it take for like Caden to kind of settle in and for Shermer to kind of just like do what they need to do with this sort of offense?
It's these trick questions, guys. If we hit the darn plays we hit, we wouldn't be asking these questions. We had the plays. We just didn't make it happen. We had the plays there. We just didn't make it happen. You watched the same game I watched, right? We had, several plays that we should have made happen. We didn't. They did. Come on, let's go.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. A lot of coaches will say the most improvement happens from week 1 to week 2. Heard Saban
I never heard nobody say that.
Saban said it this weekend, too. But,
Coach Saban ain't coaching right now. He's the greatest of all. He's the greatest of all time. He can say whatever he want to say. Whatever Coach Saban says, I'm with it.
okay. Well, I guess the theory is that, obviously, it's you have that whole offseason. You don't have the preseason, so this is your really first.
That don't matter. You see what you got, man. Pretty much the first game, the first few games, you kind of see what you got. You kind of see who's who. You got to understand when you flipping rosters like all colleges are now, except for quarterbacks, teams that have the most stability are the ones that had quarterbacks in-house and, they matured and they're running the same system. But others, you got to figure out what you got on the offensive side, the defensive side, as well as special teams. Special teams, we had 2 new guys in place, and what did they do? They dominated. We knew Mata was going to be Mata, but those other guys did what they needed to do. So we just got to get everybody on board in that same philosophy and thought process and dominating standard that they had.
So I guess that follow up to that. Do you think there are a lot of guys on this team that maybe they've got that first game out of the way now, and they can improve from that and go forward?
We hope so. If we don't, we got to try another guy because the roster is pretty deep.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Hey, Coach. Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. Just similar to what Pat was asking, obviously Shador's one of his specialties was the 2-minute drill during
Right.
his time here. You guys thrived during that situation. What did you learn about the end of game situation from the offensive standpoint about what you guys can improve there going forward?
Okay, let's just get the cat out of the bag. All right, first down, we throw a lateral pass, right? We lose 4 or 5 yards. Do you call timeout there? No, you're right there. You don't call timeout there. You got to go. You got to go. So you're running tempo, right? So the next play, you gain, I guess, 14 yards, whatever. Now you got 3rd and 1, right? Do you call timeout there? 3rd and 1. You get the first down, the clock stops, correct? So you get the first down, the clock stopped. Okay, he scrambled play. He ran out of bounds, the clock stopped, right? Now we throw the ball out the end zone. Clock stopped, right? So when was the time to call timeout?
I was just asking about this.
I'm just getting the elephant out the room, Garner. You know what you want to say. I'm just trying to help you help me.
I wasn't asking more about the timeouts, more just about like the capabilities of the offense and kind of how you guys can use this group better in those kind of situations.
Well, everything has its purpose, man. Sometimes it just don't go like it's supposed to go. We pray to God it goes well. This week we're trying to fix what was broken last week, and we're on to this week. We're not there last week. We're past that. I was there a few days ago, but I'm gone now. I'm into this week now. Come on, Jim.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Scott Proctor, DNVR, talking about this upcoming week against Delaware. You mentioned a couple weeks ago that, Caden is the starter, obviously, but
Right.
you expect to see Julian at some point this season.
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing this week for sure.
What do you expect to see out of
I know when I'm going to see him.
What's that?
You just don't know when you're going to see him. I know when we're going to see him.
Jack, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. How's it going?
My man.
Jack Carlo. Good
Just-
to see you. I'll look towards Delaware. Just
There you go.
what-
Jack, you can ask me whatever you want, man. You my man.
I got 2. Then, kind
Let's
of
go. Come on,
similar.
Jack. Let's do it.
Well, Mata just came in here saying that last week was kind of a wake-up call. Just how have you seen this
Yeah.
team kind of
Yeah.
react just in the locker room? And
Well,
regroup?
you got to understand, a lot of guys don't understand the standard. You got Cam on the sideline, Jimmy, and some of the guys that played last year, and they understand the standard. You should have heard those guys getting on the guys, that was good because it's a certain standard. It's a certain level that we have expectations, and some may not understand that. They just, the hype of it all is kind of intoxicating until you get out there, and then you get, you start reading those comments, after the game. Now you're understanding what we tried to tell you before the game. So they understand now. I will put it like that. They get it. Next question.
Also, just your overall thoughts on Delaware, just their strengths.
Good
and
team.
you
Good
expect
team.
them.
They played against one of my dear friends in Deshaun, last week, Coach Jackson. I'm sorry for calling his first name, Coach Jackson. And they got past them. They did well with their second quarterback. So this team is tough. They're going to spin the ball, throw it. They're going to try to run it because of what they just saw on film. So we just got to go out there and do what we're capable of doing, passing as well as running the football effectively. We got the guys that can get the job done, and we got to stop the run defensively and create plays. I think we had 3 turnovers. We got to cash in off those turnovers, and we got to do a better job on our returns and special teams. I wish the NCAA had come up with a rule that why we keep lining up and everybody kicking the ball out the end zone. Why we do it? Like, what is the purpose of that? Everybody's kicking the ball out the end zone. Let's make it like the NFL or move the kickers back some so we could get some action. We got some freshmen that could light it up. Everybody got guys that you want to play on special teams, but they don't get the opportunity because everybody's kicking the darn ball into the band.
Go ahead, John.
John Treach, 9 News. Coach Mata said also that the team knows that after their first loss, that win out and make the playoff.
Yeah.
I understand that you have to have that mentality, but when you look at the urgency of your team, is it where it needs to be?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, coaches, first of all, you start with the staff. The coaches have a sense of urgency tremendously. We had a sense of urgency. That didn't change from week to week. So it was that going into last week's game, we just came up short by several different components of the game, key components of the game. We have a sense of urgency. We've had one since we started last spring. So it's there. The personnel is there. We just got to make it happen.
Hey, Coach. Harrison Simeon, Buffs and SI. Just looking back at the game, what were your initial thoughts on the offensive line?
I think they played well. I think they were very physical. They graded out tremendously. Sometimes I don't look at the grades. I rather look at the film. I think they were tremendously physical. We got to take advantage of some more opportunities that we could have had. They protected pretty well, the quarterback. We just got to do a better job of executing what's called.
Hey, Coach, Jake Schwannis, DMVR. You guys just had 2 fourth downs, going back to Georgia Tech, 2
Yeah.
fourth downs, 2 fourths and shorts. Just were there any consideration in going for either of those fourth downs last
Not
week?
in the rhythm and the flow of that game. It was a certain rhythm, it was a certain flow. The wrong call could put you right out of it. And what you want to do is make sure you give yourself a chance not only to catch momentum, but to succeed and to win. And it's like a feeling. It's not nothing that you have analytically. It's a feeling.
Ryland Scholes, Ralph Report. After the Georgia Tech game, you mentioned that there were a couple situations where you thought that Caden should have kept on to it. Have you had the opportunity to sit down and talk to him so you guys can get more on the same
really
page?
have to. The thing about it, man, I don't have to really sit down and say, Caden, you should have ran right there. You don't think he knows that? You know, I'm pretty sure the internet has told him. You know, if I didn't tell him, I don't have to babysit. These are some grown men getting handsomely paid. I'm pretty sure they understand what the objective is to win and to exercise their skill set to its best possible usage. He knows what his gifts are. You just got to use them.
Go ahead and get it to Tyler there.
Coach, we saw both Ben and Tawfiq at safety the other day. Just kind of I was just curious, what were your thoughts on both those guys and how that competition has continued throughout
I think
camp?
you saw 3 of them. You're missing one. But those guys are still battling. You know, somebody got to step out and seize the moment and take advantage of the opportunity. Both of those guys all 3 of them are trying their butts off. They're doing the best they can. But really, the battle is won in practice, man. It's not out there on the game field. It's what we trust to be consistent in the game, but we got to see that at practice. And both of those guys are working their butts off to make that happen for us.
Couple more, Nikki, go ahead.
I feel like we saw a lot of production out of DeKalen Taylor.
Yeah.
How is he going to be such an important element of this offense moving forward?
You got to get the ball in his hands more. He has to have more touches. He has to be a more vital part of this offense. He's explosive. He's exciting. He's a big play waiting to happen. We just got to do a better job of getting the ball in his hands more.
Just curious, your thoughts on Travis Hunter becoming a father?
Oh, my God. I'm taking a deep breath because I love him to life. I love him like he's a son. It's funny when your son is now a father. So that's why I had to really step back. It's a beautiful thing. The thing that I told him is, let's correct all the things that we purposely think that we didn't receive as a child, and let's correct that in our fatherhood. Let's do that. And no matter what happens in life, let's make sure we're the best darn father that ever walked. That's what I told him. And I'm proud of him, and I love him to life, and I miss him dearly.
Last one, Leo, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Leo Barrow with Scopa Sports again. Looking at that quarterback, Nick Minicucci, what did you see from him throughout film? Because he was responsible for 4 touchdowns for Delaware last weekend.
He played well, man. First of all, for a kid to come off the bench and do what he did is phenomenal. Love him, love the opportunity that he sees. It's not like he's a stranger to being out on the field getting reps. This kid is a baller. He just was prepared for his opportunity, so hats off to him. We're going to try to make it tough for him. He's going to try to make it tough for us. I love what they're doing. I really do. I love what they're doing. On film, they do some some nice things. They got some people that can make things happen offensively as well as them getting to the ball defensively, and the kind of changes that they have. Prayerfully, we prepare for them and we come out successful.
Okay, last one, Jake, go ahead.
Coach, just on Julian playing this week, do you maybe see this as an opportunity to start him against a team like Delaware, or is
Can
this?
we take one thing at a time? I just told you he was playing. Now you saying he's starting. Come on, dog. Work with me, baby. You know, just work with me. Work with me. He's playing, all right? He's playing. You gotta understand, I love that kid, man. I really do, and I want him to be extremely successful. Sometimes you don't want to rush things. Sometimes you don't want to delay things. You want to make sure the timing is right. I don't think the time was appropriate last week. I really don't. At the way the game was flowing, the rhythm of the game. But this week, I made up my mind already before. Now he's gonna play. So I don't give a damn about the flow or nothing. He's playing.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. God bless you all.